Let's talk about how to find the percent of a number. The first thing I want to do before we start calculating percents of numbers is I want to review how to write percents as numbers. So right here we have 25%. I want you to pause the video right now and I want you to write 25% as a fraction in lowest terms. Alright, now that you've had a chance to do this on your own, we're going to review this together. When you write a percentage as a fraction, you take the number that is the percent, so we have 25, and you put that over 100. My fraction here is 25 over 100, but to put that in lowest terms, I need to divide by my greatest common factor, which in this case is 25. That will give you 1/4. So 25% as a fraction is 1/4. Now that we know that, we can find 25% of 80. Anytime you're finding a percent of something, you're thinking of that number as 100%. So I'm just going to draw a very bad bar graph right here, and I want you to think of this as 80. This is 100% of what we are calculating. I want to find 25% or 1/4 of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate my bar graph into fourths. Get that evenly. And now I have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, or 100%. If this whole thing is 80, then I need to break this up into fourths. Then I'm going to have 20, 20, 20, and 20. That means that 1/4 of 80 is going to be 20. Now if I wanted to calculate this purely operational, I can take my 25%, or in this case we've already calculated it to 1/4, and use the operation of. Of means multiply. 1/4 of 80. Now when we have fractions, we just multiply straight across. We have 80 over 4. When you divide this, your answer is 20. Alright, now I want you to practice writing a percentage as a decimal. So go ahead and pause the video right now. I want you to write 15% as a decimal. Alright, now that you've had a chance to do this, I'm just going to go ahead and review. Anytime that you write 15% as a decimal, we already know that this is 15 over 100. To write this as a decimal, we have 15 divided by 100. And what we can do is we just move that decimal place 2 places to the left. So 15% is equal to 0.15. Now that we know this, so 15% is the same thing as 0.15. We want to find 15% of 200. We have 0.15. We know of is our multiplication. So 0.15 times $200. You guys can grab a calculator for this. Just slide one over. 0.15 times 200 gives us 30. So our answer here is going to be $30. 8% of 300 is how much? I encourage you right now to pause the video and try this on your own. Alright, now that you've had a chance to try this on your own, right here we're going to take 8%, and I want to write this as a number, okay? If I want to do any multiplication or any operations, I need to make my 8% a number. And again, to do this, we need to move our decimal place 2 spots to the left. 2 spots to the left is going to give us 0.08. Of, again, means multiply by. We have our $300. Is means equal to. Equal to how much? Once we've written out our expression, all we need to do is to calculate it. Clear off my last problem. 0.08 times 300 gives us 24. So our answer here is $24. This is important. This is something you're going to use every day. 8%, if that was your tax rate, then you would, if you bought something for $300, you would need to pay an extra $24 in tax. What I would like you to do is questions 1 through 4 in your notebook, and we will go over them in class tomorrow.